Okay, let's dive into what happens with this sudden war between the US and Iran.
February 28th, 2026. It started out like any other day, but it definitely didn't end that way.
That's when the US and Israel launched coordinated strikes on Iran, a huge escalation after months of tension.
And then, just hours later, President Trump dropped this absolute bombshell on Truth Social. The initial reports were grim. Iran's Red Crescent said over 200 people were killed on day one.
The strikes were widespread, hitting a school where, tragically, more than 100 were reportedly killed. So, you have to ask, how did we get here? Let's rewind a few weeks. It all started with protests, which led to a brutal crackdown. Then, the US promised help and started moving troops. As the US moved in, Iran responded with a huge policy change, switching its military doctrine to offensive. And just days before the attack, Iran's supreme leader issued this incredibly stark warning. But get this, even as all this was happening, last-ditch diplomatic talks were still going on. Iran's response, it was immediate and massive. They did not hesitate to hit back. First up, their missiles targeted Tel Aviv, Israel's biggest city. Early reports showed a residential building hit, with one person killed and more than 20 injured.
Dubai, a huge global economic hub, was also in the crosshairs.
The attacks hit iconic spots: the airport, the Burj Al Arab, and the Fairmont Hotel. Bahrain was another target, and this one is crucial. It's home to the US Navy's Fifth Fleet. So they hit both civilian buildings and, critically, the US naval base there. And the conflict immediately caused chaos for global travel. Everything just stopped. Look at this. A huge part of the Middle East just became a total no-fly zone. All the major airlines started announcing massive, long-term cancellations. In just the first 24 hours, more than 2,100 flights were canceled worldwide. Naturally, the UN Security Council called an emergency meeting. Everyone was scrambling to de-escalate. So what happened next? The whole world was watching, just holding its breath. And amidst all the chaos, the calendar turned. March 1st marked the first full day of the war.